hello everyone. Thank you for joining Friday, September 12th, 2025, as we're going to be reviewing and diving into a movie that many of you all have asked about. Originally last week we said, what did we say? School of Rock? Originally?
Yes.
And David messaged the next day and wanted to change between Donnie Darko and... what was the other one?
Angels in the Outfield.
Oh, yeah.
That
Angels in the Outfield. And we went with Donnie Darko. Had you seen this before, David?
Whenever I was like really little.
Okay.
So
one time.
Yeah.
Did you remember much from it?
No.
Okay. What about you,
at all.
Cindy?
I've seen it once, I think, back like in high school or
Okay.
something. Yeah.
Lana, what about yourself?
Oh, I have watched Donnie Darko probably 1 to 4 times a year for the past 24 years.
Yeah. And I've seen Donnie
25
Darko.
years.
This would be the 3rd time that I've watched it this year. So,
So you
It is worth a rewatch.
Yeah.
No, it is very but getting your ideas on
Yeah.
it, and what you initially think, what is going on.
well, see, Lana also has a different version. I assume you all watched it on one of the streaming
I did the
platforms.
director's cut.
You watched the director's
yes,
cut?
That's
Yeah,
what I
it was
have.
on Peacock.
Okay. Which one did you watch?
I watched the one on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which are slightly different.
Yes.
There's added scenes in the
Yeah.
director's cut.
So this
the
will be
music
interesting.
Score is kind of in a different order.
That
So
Cindy-
yours wasn't the director's cut?
No, Cindy and Lana watched the director's cut.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the difference
Well,
is.
I've watched
Um,
both.
Okay. Okay.
David and myself watched
Just
the original.
Just
So you'll know which ones were
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we dive into the show, please go to all the social media pages. That's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, The Other People's Show. And it's going to be a fun one. So we're going to be diving right in. And also, there is a trivia question tonight. I'm going to be giving away the Donnie Darko poster for those, somebody that knows the answer. And they can guess throughout the week. Because I'm sure they can probably look it up, but try not to cheat. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't cheat in finding out this trivia. I actually listened to directors Richard Kelly talk about this movie. And that's how I found out the actual answer, without looking it up. So Donnie Darko, is there any quick synopsis that you all could think of that would give out the plot of Donnie Darko? Because I don't know if there is or not, to be honest with you.
There is a basic plot. So October 2nd, 1988, teenager named Donnie Darko wakes up after a night of sleepwalking, and he sees a demonic, giant-looking rabbit. And this rabbit tells him 28 days...
Basically, the world is
6
going to
hours,
be ending in
42
28
minutes,
days.
and 6 seconds. Like, the world is going to be ending. And he goes home, and I believe he slightly defies death and moves on into what you see a story of. Which, there's many, many things, a coming of age and all of that.
Yeah.
So
But
basically,
it goes through the basic plot of normal high school bullying, coming of age story, but there's just deeper meaning about fate and time in this movie.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, basically,
Yes, definitely.
what Lana said in a lot of ums and ems is that in 1988 there was a teenager named Donnie Darko, and he sleepwalks, and he's done this for some time, and he does this one time. He wakes up at a golf course, and he sees a demonic-looking rabbit named Frank. Frank tells him that the world will end in 28 days. Upon returning home, Donnie finds out that a jet engine has fallen from the sky into his bedroom. And then from this point forward, Donnie begins living in a parallel or tangent universe. Is he suffering from mental illness, or will the world really end? And that's the basic plot in a nutshell. You were correct in somewhat of...
I didn't want to give away
Too
the
much.
theme of time, because when people watch this initially, you might not get the ending is the beginning kind of like turnaround, like time traveling twist of this, like
Well-
what actually is going on,
Right.
like the underlying theme. So
There
we'll
will
talk
be
about
spoilers.
We'll yes, there will be spoilers, but still worth the watch.
Well, I do think even with spoilers, I don't know how much it will actually spoil anything. And I would assume, honestly, after 24 years, most
Yeah.
people that have wanted to watch
At
it,
least know something about Donnie Darko.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, they will have at least seen Frank the Bunny,
Yeah.
if nothing
Yes.
else, or Jake Donnie with that axe, something like that. And there's a lot of the cast members in this movie that they will recognize as well. But the director, Richard Kelly, wrote this when he was only 24 years old. He is from Virginia, Central Virginia. And this was the first of many...
Go Virginia.
Yeah. This was one of the many screenplays that he had written, but this was the first one produced and made. Others that he has directed, Southland Tales and The Box, neither one a financial success, which is the reason he's only directed 3 movies total. And this has a cast of people, even if you don't know their name, I think you would know their face.
Yeah.
Don't you think so, David?
Yeah.
Because you've got Jake Gyllenhaal's Donnie Darko. You've got Holmes Osborne as Eddie. That's the father. Maggie Gyllenhaal, sister to Jake, as Elizabeth. I don't know how to spell her name. Davnan?
DeVay?
DeVay?
Oh, Davy, maybe? Because I used to work with a girl named Davy.
Davy.
Really?
Chase
Yeah.
is
Okay.
the dark. Yes.
Mary McDonnell as Rose Darko. You've got James Duvall as Frank and Frank Anderson. Frank the Rabbit and Frank Anderson. Patrick Swayze as Jim Cunningham. Noah Weil as Dr. Kenneth Montoff? Montoff?
Monotov. Yeah.
And Drew Barrymore as Karen Pomeroy.
You know who you forgot?
Who?
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
As his first, yes,
Seth
yes.
Rogen.
When I seen him, I was like, "Is that Seth Rogen?"
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right.
That
This
is
is
his
his.
first
This is
movie.
yes,
He's a baby in it.
Yeah.
and he's a bully,
Yeah.
a friend
Yeah,
to the
that was
friend,
really odd.
friend to the main bully.
It's really, really weird.
I guess it is because
Yeah.
after all this time, you all have seen him in so many things. That this was probably the first thing that I'd ever seen him in.
I think it might be his first role.
It is his first
I
role.
had to keep reminding myself that this movie was from the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple jokes in there I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Made me cringe.
Yeah. I thought about that as well because I thought when I wasn't sure if I couldn't
Didn't
remember
age
if
well.
David had seen it, but I knew Cindy had said she'd only seen it
I
once.
didn't really remember. I remembered kind of the theme of it, but that was about it.
Yeah.
So.
So there's a couple good facts. Jake Gyllenhaal uses the strategy of rarely blinking to enhance his psychotic creepiness as he's driven somewhat to the brink of madness by Frank the Bunny. It was filmed over a period of 28 days, which matches the length of time depicted in the movie.
Oh, that's odd.
And writer and director Richard Kelly came up with the idea of the future blobs while watching football.
Yeah.
Now, like when John Madden used to draw on the board,
Yeah.
like what the the players were going to do. And this is something Lana had mentioned the other day as well.
Yeah.
You'd
like
written
how
this
he-
down.
Like the plays on like the chalkboard. That's what gave the director the inspiration for the Warhols.
Yep.
Strangely enough.
It said
And
Kelly
was-
watched this while smoking and started to think about what it would happen hypothetically if someone upstairs was doing this to humans, therefore telegraphing and showing them where they need to go. Fittingly enough, Donnie first notices the future blobs while watching football on TV.
Yeah. The Redskins, nonetheless.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, so on the set of Charlie's Angels, Drew Barrymore and Richard Kelly agreed that her production company, Flower Films, would produce the film for $4.5 million. And that Barrymore would be in the movie also. Kelly says that if not for Drew Barrymore, the movie would have gone either straight to video or cable television via Starz. So if it had went that way, I wonder how many people would have known about it, or would it still be the cult hit that it is anyway?
I actually don't remember it being in theaters. I watched it on VHS, and it was a strange person that handed us the movie to watch. I was
Right.
with other friends. It was the middle of the day. We were smoking. And
No.
yes, us bad little kids. They're I think teenage years, we were smoking, and
Shame on
this movie just threw us for a loop.
Yeah.
And the person giving it to us was not the person you would think you would
Right.
like this type of movie, per se. But they were like, you have to watch it.
Well, this was a movie that I remember it coming out at the theater, and it didn't go to very many theaters. I think it opened in 53 movie theaters when it came out, and it only made 53 theaters. October 26th, 2001 was when it came out. And I remember we did the radio show on another radio station, and a guy had called in. Zach M. was his name, and he said we should check out Donnie Darko. And I'd heard of it but never watched it, so I went to the public library and rented it on VHS, and bought it not long after that. But when I don't know if you all remember, but VHS movies, that like now movies, well before streaming, they were released on DVD and such. But all VHS movies were not released to the public.
No.
And some of them you had to pay a high price for if you wanted to get them. There was
Was that one of them?
Yeah, so it's like it's like a as seen on TV special.
Yeah, that wasn't one of them, luckily. But that one time I remember going to like the video store and asked them if I could buy movies, because sometimes they would have, especially local ones, and they would, like one time they were like, well, it'd be like $80. I tried to buy the movie Face Off, that Nicolas Cage, John Travolta movie.
Yeah.
And then after that, like when I moved away, I would go to Blockbuster, and they would have movies after they've been out a few months. You could get 5 movies for $20 or something. So, like we said, this was a $4.5 million movie. It made $1.4 million in America, $7.4 million worldwide. So, not really financially successful then. But now the movie has made over $100 million due to, streaming, DVD sales, VHS, shirts, buttons, hats, coats. Rotten Tomatoes, 88% positive. Audience score, 80% positive. And IMDb, 8.0. So all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
I can't imagine
Everyone.
what type of person wouldn't like this movie.
I don't know. No,
I don't think I would like that person.
I did print out a little primary universe and tangent universe sheet if you all needed that. In the audience, I should have put a link there if the audience wanted to use that as well. But let's go around. Cindy, what did you think about the plot and the story of this movie?
I liked it.
Okay.
I thought there were some parts for me that were a little slow, but it's like a teen movie, like coming of age, like you said.
Right.
So there was some parts I was like, over. Like I could take it or leave
Now,
it.
did you remember when rewatching it? When going in watching it, did you know any other than what you remember? Did you remember much from this?
I remembered the rabbit.
Okay. So that's it.
Kind of it.
Did you remember his name was Frank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think just because he's such a big figure from the film.
Right.
Now,
You
yeah.
didn't remember Patrick Swayze.
I didn't. When you
Really?
showed up, I was like, Patrick Swayze's in this? I forgot.
He's cast against
It's been a
type
long
in this
time.
movie.
It's been a long time since I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
Now, when did you say you last seen this?
Probably like high school back in the day.
So mid 2000s?
Probably like near when it first came out, probably.
Okay. When did you graduate high school?
2008.
Okay.
I think it came out in 2001.
It did.
Yes,
It
probably
did.
a few
Okay.
years after it came out, probably.
So, David, what about yourself? Now,
No,
did you remember many things?
nothing at all, actually.
Not even the bunny?
Except the song in the end.
Okay,
Oh,
Mad
yeah.
World. Okay.
I think that's where it became big, right? Was from that movie?
Yeah, it kind of did an uptick on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't really remember. Those, like I said, I just remember that the end scene. But for me, it was a pretty good movie. It had me drawn in.
Okay.
Just because like it's very psycho-emotional
Right.
movie.
Now, what made you jump from School of Rock to this? Because I could see School of Rock to Angels in the Outfield, maybe. They're both comedic movies. But what made you think this?
Well, I just wanted to do something a little more serious.
Okay.
It just seems like I'm always suggesting something funny or,
Right, okay. I was just curious why, because when you wrote that, I was like, yeah, but any one of them's fine. But I didn't expect you to say Donnie Darko.
Yeah.
as juxtaposed as opposed to
Yeah.
Angels in the
So different
Outfield.
than the
Yeah.
other two.
And just to backtrack a little bit, we did forget to list another actress, and it was Gina Malone. as
Yes.
Gretchen.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. His
His
girlfriend?
interest.
Yeah.
yeah.
Her name. What was her name in the?
Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Yeah, Gretchen. What was her real name?
Gina Malone.
No, I mean
Oh,
Oh, because she said she had to make up a fake name. Did she
Yes.
ever say her real name?
she said it
Did she?
one time.
Is this the trivia question?
It's not the trivia question,
Oh.
but that would be a good one. She does say it just one time.
Who does she say it to?
I can't. She says it
Can we
to Donnie
Google it?
yeah. I think she says it to Donnie whenever she's like telling the story of
because
like why they moved and.
she's like, yeah, my dad has emotional problems. He's like,
like,
oh
yeah,
yeah,
me too.
I got those too.
And she's like, "Oh Lord, what am I doing here?" with
Yeah.
him?"
So pretty much this movie is not when I really didn't understand it 100% the first time I watched it. This was a movie that I feel that you needed to watch time and time again.
I wasn't really getting it until like near the end. I was like,
Right. Now so you've never really looked up anything about Donnie Darko or
I watched the trailer the other day.
now does the trailer
No,
does it give anything?
no.
Okay.
The trailer makes you think that like he's there to save the world,
Okay.
like he's a hero, like he's got to stop something.
So it's
Well,
nothing.
that's pretty much the truth because one of the central
Well, I mean, but
themes
it's
in the
it's not necessarily him there trying to stop it. It's him trying to figure out like what's going on, what's causing it.
So the trailer makes it seem more
Why
of like
he's like the center around it.
instead of like it's more of like this puzzle
Yeah.
almost that he has to
Yeah.
try to figure out.
Again, that's like just the whole psycho emotional element to it. It's just,
Yeah.
because it's just really a deep dive into like his whole personality, his personality disorder he's got.
Because
The
also a lot of the times,
schizophrenia.
paranoid schizophrenia.
yeah, parent, you
Yeah.
you don't know really
That's another
a lot of
minor
the time
theme
is he really
mental
seeing
illness.
Frank?
I can't find it.
Can't find it.
It just keeps telling me the actress's name and calls her
Mm.
Gretchen.
I do think it's in there. I'll have to when I rewatch it again in like 2 weeks. I'll say.
You'd be like, oh yeah.
No, I did. I watched it back in February. So here it is. What is this month? September
Yeah,
12th. So
7 months left.
So yeah. So where were we? So yeah, this is not really. In a way, it's a linear film, but in a way, it's a non-linear film.
Yeah.
If you know about the Tangent universe. Now, were you all confused about any of the plot elements? Lana, we'll start with you.
The first time I watched it, I was. It took a couple of watches before I started realizing that there was a parallel universe situation happening. That there was a central theme of like fate versus free will in the movie. There are other minor like minor themes of like, the coming to the age, mental illness, sacrifice, fear, love, and religion aspects to this movie. But the choices Donnie ultimately chooses to sacrifice the main choice is that he chooses to sacrifice himself
Yes.
for the future of his loved ones.
And
So
to save.
the whole fear and love timeline, which is one of my favorite scenes. You normally would ask this
You
later.
know what was interesting though was like the different reactions from his family at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
that
his
was
mother.
interesting to me.
Especially his mother.
Yeah.
Well, when the mother
It's almost like
waves,
she
when she
she
waves,
knew she
It's almost
knew.
like she knew it was
It's
gonna
almost like
happen or something.
everybody knew something
Was
profound
off.
has
Like they could
happened.
feel something was different, but they didn't know what.
right?
Yeah, and it all really started whenever his therapist like springs up out of her sleep after like all that time rewinds back to like the engine falling on his house.
Right.
Like his therapist is like she like jumps up like
What? Yeah.
was all that just real or have I been dreaming? Like
You kind of get that way that everybody profoundly feels that at the end.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's like they
like Donnie saved
feel
the
their
primary
memories getting
universe
erased or something.
to be destroyed by this tangent universe,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, and he basically figured out what he needed to do to put everything right.
Yeah, you've listed in here when we are in the primary universe and when we are in the tangent universe of this movie and the scenes? Have you not? Is this what I'm looking at?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's pretty cool. So he starts in the primary universe. He's in the primary universe only 2 days out of the whole month, and that is the first day of the 28 days and the last day, which would have been October
Because
30th.
basically most of the movie he is in the tangent universe from October 2nd later on until he comes back out on October 30th and dies.
This is true.
So yeah, most of the movie is in the tangent universe. And you all touched upon these other themes. There's also a theme, I thought, of prestige versus kind of the outcast. Because if you notice, there's a lot of prestigious people. They're in this private prep school, and then you've got these scoundrels, Seth Rogen, and then his bully friend, and then you've got the teacher. What was her name? Miss. I always forget her name. The teacher that had the
Miss Farmer.
Yeah, Miss Farmer. Now you have her trying to project her morals,
Fisher, or wait.
her morals on everyone. But then if you go and look at some of the morals, look at Sparkle Motion. I don't think Sparkle Motion
But that was juxtaposed to the other popular crowds.
exactly.
Moral, or
Exactly.
like morals and importance on
It is
life,
farmer.
because
Yes.
And see, that was something that
was life.
that was something that you all had mentioned about Donnie's mother at the end when she's smoking the cigarette. Donnie's mother is different from every other
The dad
parent.
is like inconsolable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But throughout the movie, you see she kind of wrestles with, some of the challenges, and she doesn't really. She reluctantly takes her daughter to Sparkle Motion. She really does try to understand Donnie's, mental problems, where nobody else really does. Miss Farmer, just thinks that it's what fear and love is the only two emotions on the spectrum there.
But it's
That
funny
video was so funny.
because that's kind of like foreshadowing right there on that chalkboard where she's got the fear and love wrote down on there, because like he starts out and like just eat up with fear of like how things are going to pan out, and then in the end, he just acts out of love.
To save them.
Yeah, like the two, like I was saying earlier, the two on the timeline. There is fear and there is love, and then as
I should have printed out the timeline and we could have reenacted that scene.
Yes, as he's arguing with Miss
Everybody put your
Farmer
eggs.
about that timeline, he's saying there's all of these other emotions and all of that, but basically those two emotions, fear and love, is what drives Donnie through the tangent universe.
Yeah.
Those two emotions,
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic, in my opinion.
Just like in the Graham Greene story that they read.
Yes.
Yeah. 'Cause
So-
apparently he's from
Yeah,
Bonanza or something.
The bunnies.
Like I said, there's a lot of ironic things in here.
There definitely is. What about the characters? Did you all have some favorite characters and least favorite characters?
Nope.
I love Drew Barrymore's character.
What did you like about her character?
I just feel like she reminds you of like the teachers in school that like made you want to learn.
The renegade teachers.
Yeah.
I
Like
think so
people that the
too.
teachers that would get you
Thinkers.
excited for learning and
And you
And
realize
Richie
that
E.
as an
Freethinkers.
audience member watching right away, because she says to Gretchen, "Come sit next to the boy you find the cutest."
yeah.
And not many teachers would do that, And then, so that's something. She sits beside Donnie. So therefore, right there, it gives an opening to Donnie's like, okay, this girl sit beside me. And then as he learns a little bit about her, their little conversation when they meet out on the sidewalk is, I think, a pretty good conversation. So I didn't mean to interrupt your
She
thought on
actually
that.
asked him, "Are you okay?" And he's kind of like, "No, not really.
Yeah.
Not really."
I do like how honest he is about like, yeah, I'm mentally unwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even his friends, like when he's going through with the Smurfette
Yeah.
whole tirade.
I love that whole
He's like, "You guys are
conversation.
That was a good
dumb."
scene.
I love that he didn't just go with it and he's like, you guys are like, no, that's not the story at all. I was like, "What's that?"
And they're like, dude,
Yeah,
are
I
you
was
all
like,
right?
is somebody going to say something? It won't Papa Smurf. It made Smurf better. What?
Yeah, I love that.
Now, did you all remember that part at all?
No, it just shows you how smart he is, and that he doesn't just like follow the crowd. So
And that he is, he is the outcast.
because they do like point out a few times through the movie that he's very, very smart.
Yeah.
Like who's the principal is like your test scores were like scary
Intimidating.
good.
Yeah.
And he's only supposed to be. He's only 16 years old in this movie. So what? 10th, 11th grade, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he doesn't drive. Well, he said he couldn't drive until he was 21.
But I'm pretty sure, I could have swore there was a scene that shows him, like, getting ready to get in a vehicle and take off, though.
You mean at the end
Yes.
when he
Yeah.
drives? Yeah.
He drives.
think
He
so.
does drive after the end
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
when he kills
When he's got
when
Gretchen.
Yeah.
Gretchen, Bunny,
Yeah.
Roberta Sparrow. All of that happens pretty quickly at the end.
Now, I do think that happens really like quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
The
end there.
ending?
Yes. Like the way the whole Gretchen thing wraps up with Frank and Donnie. The first time I watched that, I was like, I didn't expect it to
Do you
like.
think it shouldn't have been that fast, or do you feel like it was done that purposefully?
See, I can't remember the version that you all watched if it's
Well,
the
I do
same
know.
way.
I do
well,
know.
you've seen both. What's
Yeah.
But I do know this fact, and it includes the director's cut and all of that, the extra scenes. There are 28 scenes in this movie.
Are there?
Yes, there are 28 scenes. It took 28 days to shoot.
So everything was done purposefully in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
movie.
And 28 days is the cycle of a tangent universe,
Oh.
which is also the same as the moon cycle.
I didn't look anything up about this movie, so this is all like very interesting to learn.
Oh, you'll if you want to go down that bunny hole.
No pun intended.
I mean,
No pun
I
intended.
really almost
There
printed
is
out a.
absolutely a lot.
I almost printed out a
written
scene by
and talked
scene
about on this
timeline, but it would have taken me
Just
forever.
even ask AI to explain this movie
True,
to you,
true.
and then it just keeps going on and on and on.
So Donnie is diagnosed with hallucinatory episodes as symptoms of paranoid schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And this revelation drives Donnie to explore darker parts as he struggles to distinguish between perception and reality.
Yeah.
Now, was there a time when you all wondered, is this reality? Is this all in Donnie's head?
Yeah, the moment him and his dad almost hit Roberta, and like they're standing there, and she like comes up to him and like
Whispers to him.
Whispers in his ear.
whispers to him.
Do you know what? Do you
I
remember?
can't remember. I know he says what she
She
said.
said everybody
Just-
dies alone.
Every living
Every
creature
living- yeah.
dies alone.
Yeah.
5 words, and those
And
are
see,
probably
and it's
one of the most
crazy to
profound
think
words.
too, because like it was her book that he read to help him figure out how to tune into
As soon as the
time travel
teacher-
essentially and stuff like that.
As soon as
yeah.
the teacher handed it to him, I saw the last name and I was like, Sparrow? I was
So
like,
you
"Sparrow?"
put it together.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder
could-
what she had been doing, just like standing in that road,
Mhm.
just going back and forth between that one spot in the mailbox. Like I know her purpose, like essentially like she was there.
He never
like,
gave her the letter, did he?
it's almost like the letter was like the other thing that led, like it was something
To lead him there?
that led to her fate too. Almost like her, I don't know. That I could be wrong, but I got that from
I'm
it.
confused. Why? Because he was going there to deliver a letter, right? So why didn't he put it in the mailbox instead of going inside the house? Going into the basement?
So here's
Because
something that I
They
found.
forced him into the basement. The police did.
Oh yeah.
No, him and her went in, and then they
No,
came
no,
in.
yeah,
and
no,
got
Yeah, they
him.
went in down there, and the bullies came in to try to
They
rob
pulled
the
him
place,
out,
didn't they?
yeah.
Is that why?
Was it because it was a cellar door?
Well, yeah, because he said cellar door, and then he like went in. But I was like, why would you just go in? I don't know. That part kind of confused me, but
I think it takes it back to where his teacher says that being the most
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah, yeah.
to
Well,
words
here's
that
something
they don't even
that I
use.
found interesting. So you all were talking about why Roberta Sparrow stands in the road. So this is something that I'd found. Roberta Sparrow receives a letter in the mail one day, a letter from herself warning her of some terrible accident. When the events come true and she does avoid a tragedy, she realizes that at some point she has figured out time travel. Terrified that another tragedy will happen, She tells herself if anything bad ever happens to her, she'll send herself another letter to warn herself what to avoid. So now the rest of her life is spent in isolation, in fear that any of her actions may ultimately lead to her doom. So the only thing she can do is check her mailbox every day, waiting for that letter.
Is that confirmed? That's why she was doing it?
That's just fan
Fan
theory.
theory?
Yeah. Okay.
Wait a second, and I'm just getting confused.
But I
here.
do think that kind of makes sense, though,
Is there one book?
which has actually driven her crazy.
Is there one book or two books that they speak about? The one Roberta Sparrow. What was the name of it? Was that the Book of the Living? Or was that
The philosophy of
time travel.
Yeah.
Okay, so she wrote the philosophy of time travel.
Yes.
Okay, and he finds out about that. But the teacher recommends another book called the Book of the Living, and that ties in with the whole foreshadowing and details similar to
I don't know,
what Donnie has going on, which are kind of like delusions and hallucinations. Because again, we have to be reminded he is a paranoid schizophrenic. Is it really time travel, or is this the delusions of a teenage that is seriously mentally ill, like
Did
a dream?
Did that like kind of like in we did a movie similar like that.
Like right before his death, was his thinking, that whole story. And that's why he's laughing, because he knows it's not the truth.
Yeah.
It could be too.
Like I've always wondered that. Like that's why I rewatch it to try to find out if there's any like clue to where like whether this all was a delusion, a
Somebody
hallucination.
commented on one of the things, that you'd posted or shared, whatever, for the show tonight. Someone had said something about there being more than one movie.
There's a sequel to this movie.
Oh, it's not.
And there's a
good.
third one, right? About a girl, or is that the sequel?
But the sequel is about his younger sister Samantha.
I think there's only two right now.
I mean, maybe we're
second one
missing
did
some
not do good.
pieces because
No.
maybe
I don't think it continued in the story.
It has the younger sister in it.
Yeah, Samantha.
Is it played by the same girl?
I think it is. There are two movies in the Donnie Darko series, the original and the 2009 sequel, S. Darko, a Donnie Darko tale. And then there's the director's cut. I would say don't watch S. Darko. It's nothing like this.
Yeah, no, that's what I was reading.
It's really a waste of your time. It really is.
So what I spoke about, did you guys gather that while you watched it? Like the whole like, could this really be? Because like I've watched it many a times, and there's many theories out
Are
there.
you
What's
asking
actually,
if we think it was his mental illness or if it's actually happening?
or if he was really time traveling? If the tangent in the primary universe was a real thing that he was going through that last 28 days, or if that's something that he would have been smart enough to pre-imagine upon his death. Right? But I mean, you think your brain fires up upon death,
Yeah.
because it could be like a Jacob's Ladder type.
Yeah,
of
Jacob's
film,
Ladder. That's what
where
I was.
where nothing you watch in that movie actually happens. He died at the beginning.
Have you ever watched Jacob's Ladder?
Oh, that's a good
I
one.
never watched it until we reviewed it a couple.
No, I actually just watched a movie not too long ago. It's a Jacob's Ladder type movie where this woman's daughter, she ends up like having an allergic reaction or something. I can't remember what had happened. And like she essentially dies, but I mean you don't find out until like the end of the movie. And like what it is like this whole movie is just like the little girl just had an episode. The lady goes and helps out a little girl, and then after that it's just like a string of events. There's just like she can't catch a break,
Right.
even though she's already struggling, having to work like 3 jobs and this, that, and the other. And towards the end, it shows that like what has ended up happening is like she's just having a mental breakdown over her daughter's death.
Okay.
Yeah, in Jacob's Ladder you get that, and as crazy as it is, it's kind of parallel, if you will, to this movie in that he's dead at the beginning.
Yeah.
There is no time change.
Yeah.
He's both alive and dead.
I mean, yeah, basically just like this one I
And-
watched, because like what it does is
Yeah.
it goes, because like the events that you're seeing happening to her, you're like, dang, she really can't catch a break. She's actually hallucinating
Right.
those. So
Was the
But
one
that's,
you
but
watched?
that's not the person that dies. It's the daughter that dies
Yeah.
in the movie.
the
That's
the
the
that
mom.
dies, but yeah, the mom's like.
Was it a
hallucinating.
newer one that you watched? Because they did do
It's
a
got
remake.
Taraji P Henson in it. I know.
Okay, so that's probably a remake of that one, the one that we reviewed. Because we reviewed the one from like 1990, and the one you're talking about is probably more. It's newer.
I feel
think,
like
isn't it?
I feel like I've seen the
Because
movie he's
I
talking
do
about.
I do well for the same title they did do a remake, but there is a couple of differences in the director's cut. So Cindy touched on a point earlier. You said it was a little long in parts.
So maybe that's why.
The director's cut is 20 minutes longer
Yeah.
than the theatrical cut.
Yes.
So I forgot to make it. I mean,
I
you,
just went with the one I found.
you've got the gist. Well, they have them both, out there. So I'd forgotten about that, and I think it explains the tangent universe and the ending a little bit differently in the version you all watched as opposed to the one David and I watched. Like I've only seen the director's cut like twice.
Okay. That movie is called Straw. It's a new Tyler Perry film.
Oh, Straw. Okay, I have not watched it.
Watch it.
Okay.
It's a good one.
So, what about what about you, David? What about you with the characters? Did you have a least favorite character?
I didn't really necessarily have a favorite, but my least favorite was definitely Miss Farmer.
Okay. Now, I thought Miss Farmer, although she was an annoying character, she was a few laughs throughout.
Or like just like when she's trying to ask Donnie's mom, like, "Hey, will you take these girls to this dance competition while I try to show up to his pedophile's arraignment?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
like, excuse me, okay, so like if you've been practicing and working hard with those girls, why don't you take them to that? And, like, screw this dude."
Yeah. Now, did you all expect that?
Did she have to go? Was she? Because she made it seem like she couldn't miss it.
It's because she wanted to defend him.
Yeah, because she was raising money for like
He's
his
been
bail
set
money.
Up. This is a conspiracy.
Now, do you-
She truly believed in.
She
Jim
truly believed
Cunningham.
in Jim Cunningham.
She was drinking
Yeah.
the Kool-Aid.
Yes.
She was like, I gotta save this man.
Yeah, and that's where the movie kind of touches on religion and to the schools and the self-help and all of that stuff.
Well, it also
in
showed
the
where I thought
thing.
where a lot of the schools, parents were a little shallow because they decided to drink the Kool-Aid of Jim Cunningham only because he was good looking.
Yeah.
If-
You know what I thought was interesting was the one mom told her, she's like, you should meet him. I can't believe he's single. And then I saw a scene where he had a ring on his, I thought it was his, like, a wedding band.
Yeah.
That he had on in the scene.
It could have been. It could have been.
And
But
I
Donnie's
Easter egg.
mother is the only mother that doesn't have any interest in
Mm-hmm.
Jim Cunningham as well. So I thought Patrick Swayze was cast very well in that role because he's never really been that
He
type
really
of.
sold it that he believed in what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a couple of funny things. This could go under facts. Is that when they filmed part of the his video for his little seminar, they filmed that at his ranch, and he wore his clothes from the '80s in some of those scenes too. Because the wardrobe didn't have enough money to get a lot of '80s clothes, so he just wore a lot of those. Did you say your favorite character, Cindy?
I liked Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
Pomeroy.
I kind
Did-
of liked Frank too, though.
Okay. And why did you like Frank?
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about favorite scenes, but I liked the scene in the movie theater when he like finally takes the
Oh yeah, it takes
the mask off. Yeah.
Do you know what movie they're watching on screen? Does anyone know?
Do you know?
Is that going to be the trivia question?
That's not the trivia
yeah,
question.
You
It's
keep
on the
asking.
marquee as he's walking in.
Because that one's too easy. That one's too easy.
Is it Night of the Living Dead?
It's not.
No.
It
Oh
says
no,
it on
it's
there.
You know what it is,
E-
David. It's on the tip of
Evil
your tongue.
Dead.
It is the Evil Dead. The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
That would have been a little bit too easy. Now, I am going to give out the trivia question in just a few
Because I
moments.
remember whenever he's like walking out of the theater.
It shows it.
Yeah.
Because I've been in a theater, like being the only one in there before, and it's like a very eerie feeling.
Do you
being
like
in a
that
theater.
feeling or no?
It depends on what I'm watching, I
Okay.
guess.
Aren't you a big Evil Dead fan? Like
Yes.
The older.
Yeah.
one
I
from
mean, I've watched
80s?
the newer ones too.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I'm saying. I could have swore you said you were like a bigger fan of like the 80s.
Well, the older
80s.
ones is why the film that I can't really speak about much on the radio.
Yeah.
It was inspired by the Evil Dead and how the Evil Dead was made. So
Okay.
that's kind of how that. Well, I didn't make a film; it was a movie. How that came about.
Yeah.
What about you, Lana? Do you have a favorite character, least favorite character?
Well, I instantly had a crush on Jake Gyllenhaal. So
Okay.
Donnie but as he plays that character, I don't know if I can imagine anybody else playing that character so well.
You know who was originally asked to play that character?
No,
Mark Wahlberg.
that would
Okay,
not
see,
have.
that-
yeah, that would
does
not have worked.
That would not have worked.
But
And
he wanted to play the character with a lisp,
I
which
like-
is the only reason he didn't do the movie because they said no.
I like the fact that it does include his sister, because the scenes with his sister
They feel
almost,
authentic.
See, yeah,
they feel authentic.
The dinner table scene at the very beginning.
Haven't they? And honestly, if I remember correctly, haven't they done like a couple of movies together besides this one?
That's a possibility. Let's see. Continue there, Lana.
But I would say that my favorite character, to be honest, was Jim Cunningham.
Really? Okay. Why is that?
Just seeing Patrick Swayze in a role,
Different than what he's done before.
and he, as a motivational speaker, I mean, he sold me. He sounded just like one. I think he really got into character, and then even though it was just a side role, he wasn't. Well, I don't know if it was a side role. I think all of the roles that every character plays
important.
it feels important. So wait a second, I'm going to go back, because even his mom, I could say, is a favorite character.
Well, I think his mom is an underrated character because she's
Because
not
of
in a lot of scenes, but she's in a lot of key scenes.
Yeah,
They're-
and
it's
she's
very
got like a
impactful.
lot
Yeah.
of patience, because like she knows like at the beginning, whenever she walks out of his room and he calls her the B word,
Right.
And she's like, our son just called me the B word, and then like the dad's
I
like,
did like
you're
the way
like,
they parented.
he's like,
Yes.
the dad's
Yeah.
like, well, get over it. He's like, you
He's
know.
like, you're not. Yeah.
He's like, you're doing it right now, but you're not.
He's like, you're not a B, but you're being.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had like a good. And I did like the fact that a little comedic, like when Miss. Well, we'll get into this in favorite scenes in a moment. But I think they had a good dynamic, and the father's in it even less than the mother. But even though he's kind of he tries, I feel like the father tries. He doesn't do everything right because he doesn't remember, the psychiatrist's name. And he's sitting there muttering at the TV.
And he often laughs at Donnie whenever he shouldn't. Because,
Relatable.
Yeah. I mean, I could honestly, if I were a parent and my son or daughter said something like that, I would probably
Yeah.
laugh. To be
Yeah.
honest,
100%.
I could see that happening. I don't know if I really have a favorite character. Originally, I would have said Donnie, but over the last 24 years of watching this, I think that I don't really have a favorite because I don't think this movie can be complete and can't tell the story without each individual character. And I think the people
everybody
that
has like their own key role.
Yes.
It was never really like a main character
Yeah.
type of movie. It was
yeah,
just
now Donnie is the focal point.
Yes.
But Donnie's not going to be led on this journey if you take one character out. And I think if you replace some of these actors or actresses with other people, you're going to lose a lot.
Yeah.
Even back then, because this, Patrick Swayze was in a lot of things. Drew Barrymore, Noah Wiley, he was on the show ER at the time. And, Maggie and Jake were coming up. I think Jake Gyllenhaal had only done Bubble Boy. And,
which was the very first movie I'd ever
yeah,
seen.
Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
And it's so ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, funny story for a lot of people that don't know, the guy in the booth in Bubble Boy is Zach Galifianakis.
That is right. That is right. Now, I did see Zach Galifianakis one time in 2006 he didn't do stand-up per se.
Yeah.
If you've ever went on and look at his old stuff on YouTube, but
He was basically a B-list celebrity until
Hangover.
happened. Yeah.
Well, my friend Terry and I, we were at George Washington University, and after the show, I've got a Zach Galifianakis shirt too that we bought there. But after the show, we were waiting on the elevator, and then it came up or went down. It was him, and then the door closed, and he just went down. We were just standing there looking at him, and we just stood and looked at him for like 10 seconds.
Just looked at him.
And then he didn't say a word. We just looked at him. Because we had his shirts. It had his face on him as we were standing there looking at him.
That's funny.
I
And
feel
we were
like
like,
he had a
was that
shirt
him?
like that in The Hangover.
the one I like, I'd still have it. I still have it. It's just got his head on it.
From that real life experience where he's like,
Yeah.
those people have been staring.
So it's like you're
But he
staring
was-
at him and
he
he
was
like
funny.
notices and he's like, "Well, are you coming? Okay.
He was funny.
Where are we going? You'll find out soon enough."
But I digress. What about favorite scene and least favorite scene? David, let's start with you this time.
Honestly, okay, I wouldn't say I have like a favorite scene or least favorite scene, but I'll tell you, there's two different scenes that very much made it feel like it had two like openings.
Okay.
Because like the actual opening scene, whenever it's him waking up in the middle of the road,
Right.
like he just got in a bicycle crash or something, and then it's like that scene where like they get to school and it's like showing all the kids everywhere and
montage.
the teachers, yeah, and stuff like that. It made it feel like it had like two openings. And it just like that second opening though, I feel like that was like our introduction into the characters who are gonna get, strung along in the events of the movie.
So I know exactly what you mean. Like, it does seem like it does have two different openings, because the second opening with the high school is you get this montage of the high school walking through the halls. You understand that we're in the
Yeah, I mean,
80s.
Even the music that it gave us
Yeah.
for that was very like introductive.
Yeah.
Music is actually in the score is very important.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to every scene and every song, and it's.
I mean, you get to see a lot of the side characters too. Like, Donnie's walking through the hall. The bully's like, jeering at him. You follow the bully a little bit. And you see Mrs. Farmer's just like staring at the bully as he's walking through the hallway. So you see kind of the characters that's going to layer this film throughout the first montage of the first couple minutes. You see Gretchen looking in the window, looking in a mirror in the locker. So this is a very telling opening, and I'm glad David pointed that out. What about you, Cindy?
I mean, I think my favorite scene was the theater scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
What drew you to that one?
I think just where I've like been in a theater alone, you can kind of like be in that same state where it's just him and the bunny. And I'm like, that would be so spooky.
Now, what's a movie
And
that
he's
you've
like,
watched in the theater alone?
What are
Have
you doing wearing that bunny suit? What are you doing
Wearing
wearing
that man
I don't know,
suit.
human suit?
Yeah,
like, or
it's
what
so
a man
cool.
suit or whatever he says.
Now, what movie did you watch in the theater by yourself?
I'm trying to remember which one it was because it's been a long time ago.
Only one?
Yeah, it was
Just
a
one.
spooky movie, but I can't remember which one because
Okay.
I remember I kept being like,
Did you sit like in the middle of the theater?
yeah.
I've been to so many. I've probably been more movies alone than I have with people, and I've been with people a lot.
Yes.
But I used to see like 100 movies a year in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the times they would be movies nobody wants to go. Okay, I'll go. And I worked at a theater for half my life too. So, what about you, Lana? Do you have a favorite scene?
I actually, just because the two characters, so you got Donnie and you got Jim Cunningham coming together. So the assembly where he pretty much schools Jim Cunningham, and you can see everybody being like, he's
He's
breaking
calling
the
him out.
facade.
But Donnie's
who
actually
this
saying
character is.
true advice. He's not giving just some,
Yeah.
throwing stuff out there that Jim Cunningham is. He's actually giving, if you want to not get beat up by the bully, Donnie's advice is
He's definitely
lift weights and kick him,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying people should lift weights and kick somebody, but opposed to what Jim Cunningham is saying, find something that you
It's
love.
like the peaceful side
Yeah.
and the not so peaceful
Yeah.
side.
So,
Yeah.
find something that you love. I don't think that's going to keep you from getting beat up during the school day.
Mm-hmm.
Basically. So that's your favorite scene of the movie?
one of my favorites. Yes.
I tried to debate and think many, many times today of my favorite scene in the movie.
Or maybe where he's stabbing the bunny in the eye, and that foretells
When he's
death
looking
of
in
bunny.
the mirror?
Yes.
Yeah.
When
That's
he's
a good
stabbing
one.
Frank in the eye,
That's a good one.
just because of the effects and all of that.
No, those were good effects. Now, did this movie for you all, did it seem like, did anything age, other than some of the content, did anything visually or story-wise age where you could tell, this was made in the 2000s? Or did it seem like this could have been made in the 80s?
Very, very well seemed like it could have been made in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I thought so too. Because, some movies you can watch now and you can be like, that's aged terribly, like, it
That's
doesn't
definitely
look
from the
good.
80s
Yeah.
or-
I would disagree, just because of
The graphics
The
were a little more
graphics,
refined, but
and,
like
yeah.
the score and everything was given off.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
was
that.
it was definitely new age.
Like that
post-punk.
transition era between like the end of the '80s and the early '90s
Right.
that we've talked about a few times.
Like that overlap there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the soundtrack is definitely, like I said, new age, post-punk, 80s rock,
Yeah.
to where you start to get into the
And pop and
90s.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do like one of my favorite scenes is one of this. It's the scene right after Cindy's talking about in the theater. Donnie gets up and Gretchen's asleep, and then Donnie goes and burns down Jim's house.
I'd like to know how he did that in a timely enough manner to where he could get back in the movie.
The
just-
movie
Because
wasn't
they had
even
already
over.
been watching the movie. They had the whole conversation. He leaves, does all that, then comes back.
And I do like the fact that each one of these things that Donnie does, like he floods the school, you know, and then he, what's he do?
But he fears the bunny, so anything Frank tells him to do,
He's going to do.
he's going to do, because he knows that there's something profound about.
Well, see,
Frank
I think
anyways.
also that psychologically, although he doesn't like Jim Cunningham, and I thought of this a little bit, this could be true or false, is that he still has this love and fear in his mind, and the fear of Frank, like you said, is making him or leading him. If I don't do this, I'm succumbing to this fear of Frank. I don't know, just something I thought of today.
Oh, well, here's something to throw out.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. It just left. Hold on. What was it?
It went in the tangent universe.
I mean, yeah, you definitely went in the tangent. It was a part to do with Frank, if I remember correctly. That's where I was going with it.
Well, Frank was actually his sister's sister
Boyfriend.
Elizabeth's boyfriend.
No, not okay. So you know how Frank's always telling him what to do, and like the tangent was just like the 28 days. Well, you remember how it talks about how he had burnt down an abandoned building
Yes.
once before?
Yeah.
Wonder what that was about.
That's why he can't get his license until he's 21.
Mental
But
health,
I mean,
mental
I
health
wonder.
issues.
Yeah, I wonder what. I know it's obviously because of his mental health issues, but like if it was Frank leading him to like burn Cunningham's house down, flood the school, and this, that, and the other, and even I believe his therapist. I feel like she made a remark about have you made any more friends, and he was like, yeah. Or it
Yeah,
seemed
'cause
like
he
something
says he's
about like
going
another
together.
imaginary friend or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he tells her about Frank.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I also wonder if there's any kind of symbolism or anything, because David had touched on, burning of Jim's house. He'd burned, Donnie had burned this other house before. And in the book that she has them read, they burned down a house just to see what is like, see what it was.
Well, I mean, they also flood the house too.
So see, I think that has something to do with why Frank is, and that also leads people to think, is Donnie subconsciously making these things connect? I think that's part of what Richard Kelly had when he wrote it as well. Let's keep the audience off balance too.
See, it's like no matter where we go, it just goes full circle back to like how this is a psycho-emotional movie.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna
you
have to
can
go back
break
and,
down every
and
scene.
yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch the trailer for it because I didn't watch.
No,
I can't
didn't watch
remember.
the
it.
literally the trailer makes it seem like the beginning of the movie is like there's like the two. It's like it makes it seem like the two worlds are colliding, like actually colliding in like a.
Like Earth
Like a
One
mass-
and Earth
like
Two.
a mass
like
destruction.
multiverse, like a
Okay.
multiverse
Yeah,
type
but
deal.
that's kind of is what some of the theories and the themes is about the tangent.
But they also
universe,
make
is
it
that they
seem-
will collapse and
But
one will
at the
destruct
same
the
time,
other.
it makes it they make it seem like Gretchen's there to like help him. Like she knows what's going on,
Okay.
and she's helping.
So
Whenever-
would you
Stuff
say
like
the
that.
trailer doesn't really
No, it does
tell?
not.
So it's totally misleading.
That's
Yeah.
interesting that they would do
I'm,
that.
I'm telling you, pull it up right now. I'm telling you, you've got to give it a watch. It's
Let's see
it's
here.
quite odd because for me, like I seriously thought it was like him and Gretchen were going to be stopping the events of this happened. I didn't know it was going to be anything like death, death defiance and stuff like that. It did not come off like it was going to be a psycho-emotional movie. It come off more like a sci-fi thriller.
Okay, I do remember
Kinda.
watching it in the past, the trailer, but I don't remember. Let's see if I can find one here. Here's an official trailer. Let's see, and we'll listen to it a little bit here in the show. After the commercial. Now, did you all watch the trailer, Cindy or Lana?
I don't like to watch the trailer if I don't remember a movie.
You want to go in blind?
Yeah.
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 No, I've never had to go watch the trailer because, like, I went in blind watching this movie. Just somebody saying you have to watch
Okay.
it.
Pondered through the
And handed a
seasons.
VHS to
Now, in
me.
his
I watched
15th
it.
year, crystallized with the pain of puberty.
So, why'd you move here?
My mom had to get a restraining order against my stepdad. He has emotional problems.
Oh, I have those too. What kind of emotional problems does your dad have? I met a new friend.
Real or imaginary?
Wake up, Donnie.
Say-
Imaginary.
It's not the one you
I'm
saw.
going to tell you a little story today about a young man whose life was completely destroyed by these instruments of fear.
I've been seeing stuff.
Donnie is experiencing what is commonly called a daylight hallucination.
I have to obey him. He saved my life.
Have you ever seen a portal?
Has he ever told you about his friend Frank, the giant bunny rabbit?
The what?
And now
Every
it's
living
just time
thing follows
travel.
along set path. And if you could see your path or channel, then you could see into the future, right?
I'm not going to be able to continue this conversation.
Don't worry. You got away with it.
What is going to happen?
I only have a few days left before they catch me.
Showing a lot of clips right now.
When's this gonna stop?
You should already know that.
It does make it seem quite a bit different than.
I'm having a hard time finding
Maybe
the
more
trailer
a
that
little.
I saw.
The whole mood of the. I think without the soundtrack in this movie, the whole mood it wouldn't be set in the original. As you can hear, I don't think Facebook audience can hear in that trailer. The instrumental score
Yeah.
composed by Michael Andrew was very, 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 very important on getting those like nostalgic, like dread and angst and the anxiety, and pulls you in to where there's almost like an oral sketchbook, like
One good thing I think
something
in
that emotionally makes you feel just by the music that's going on, including the 80s music that's played in
now this is no lie. Now often when I want to try to be creative, I often listen to just the score of Donnie Darko because it's just it has a mood to it. It has an eeriness,
a sense of dread.
dread, maybe unsettling, just a little
Melancholy.
bit, melancholy. But you can also relate a lot of those feelings with mental instability. A lot of the things that Donnie Darko has wrong with him. Maybe even people in this room have those things wrong with them.
I also think
Such as myself.
yeah, I also think speaking about the score and everything, but like just the soundtrack, the movie the song The Killing Moon by Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yes.
I think that shows the unsettling world that actually Frank is from.
One
and
funny
how
thing about that song
because
is
Frank obviously is from the Tangent universe.
well, Echo in the Bunnymen is the song that opens up the theatrical version of the movie. But it's not the song that opens up the version that you all watched.
Yeah, the director's cut.
Yes.
Why did they choose a different song? Do you know?
I don't know.
I believe most movies, the director's cuts, it's just less cut out because it's more or less the director's full vision.
I mean,
Now, see,
when you
this is
watch
the
it,
song
like when he's
that
either
opened up.
watching the videos, and it actually shows what's on the videos, like in other classes. Like that's scenes that aren't in the other theatrical release.
That's something we'll have to do. We'll have to.
We
David and I will watch the director's cut next time.
No way
It-
you
Do you
can.
prefer the director's cut or the regular theatrical?
Most-
I like the flow of the score of the movie in the theatrical release. The director's cut just gives you a little bit more ideas, and then if you actually watch the commentary version of the movie, where the director's giving you commentary on the scenes and all of that, like all of these things I'm talking about, like to where like all of these things are. I mean, they're just so hard to find them in one watch. You could talk 24 hours straight about this movie, and everybody's idea and what everybody gets from it most likely is going to be correct. And you could prove that with lines and everything from the movie, because it's so... I actually think the screenplay is probably a little bit what I would call literature. Great literature in itself.
I would say. Now, what
And
about?
it's phenomenal that they filmed it in 28 days, and it had just such this perfectness to it.
Well,
Like,
to be honest
I don't-
with you,
I
I'm
don't
really
find any fault
surprised
with it.
that this kind of a movie even got made. Because I mean, how do you even pitch this movie? Here's what it's about.
I think Drew Barrymore was the one.
She had the
that made that
foresight
happen.
to see this is a project that I want to be involved with. Like what he said, without her, the movie would not have been made.
I
What
think she
about
was-
originality, Lana?
Like I said, the idea of the time traveling upon death and living a separate life that actually does include a lot of profound meanings and other things, underlying things that you would have to get, kind of like and we said it earlier in the show, like Jacob's Ladder, that you realize that there is two things happening at once, that both stories are true. So everybody's idea of like what's happened at the end can be true, because
Right.
in any universe, any tangent universe, it's right. Like, and we could be in a tangent universe, or are we in the primary universe? We don't know.
We don't know. What about you, Cindy? Did you think this was original?
Yeah, I would say it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are other movies that do similar things. Was this the first one that did? I don't know if there was any before this that did the sort of like butterfly effect, alternate
Like, I think-
universe
like a-
sort of thing. Is this the first one that did
Let's
it?
see.
This was in 2001.
Let's see some movies that are like Donnie Darko.
Wizard of Oz.
What was that?
The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz, actually. That does make sense. And,
We've
and
got,
you could make that make
But that
sense.
one's a little bit more, it's in a different universe.
It's a little more
It's a
straightforward.
little bit more straightforward than Donnie Darko.
So
yeah.
you've got Mulholland Drive, a David Lynch movie, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Butterfly Effect, Memento,
Memento.
Primer, I've never seen that one, heard of it, 12 Monkeys, The Science of Sleep, Pi, Coherence,
What about the Lazarus Effect? Would that one be on there?
with Paul Walker?
Maybe the older one.
Okay, maybe. Mr. Nobody. This is just a random list I found. The Fountain, Triangle. I've not heard of a lot of these.
I'd say it's pretty original though.
Yeah.
In the story and
But notice it didn't mention anything about Jacob's Ladder, which I equate it to, like, just in simple fact that
I think
it's it definitely could have been a delusion, because obviously
I think that's where the similarities with Jacob's Ladder begin and end, where it is a movie you don't know in Jacob's Ladder that it is a delusion until the very end. There's hints throughout. Where in this Donnie Darko, you really don't know 100%. But I always did think I never really thought it was completely in Donnie's mind. Not really. What about you, David? Originality? Yeah. Also?
I believe I believe so.
I do too. I think this is a movie that it's not a movie for everyone. I think it's a movie.
that's what me and my brother were talking about. I feel like it's a movie that people either really, really love, like how you two have watched it so many times,
Right.
or like us, where we've watched it like once or twice.
This is probably maybe I could probably count on one hand as many times I've watched this movie.
Would you watch this movie again?
Yeah.
Cindy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's worth
I
rewatching.
don't think I'd watch it as often as you guys have.
Yeah.
But maybe like
But the next time, just think,
Yeah.
I actually don't know. It has many times as I've watched it, if what the end really was. Was it the time travel or was it a delusion? It can be argued both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's left to be ambiguous like that. I really do.
I really do think it's left to be ambiguous like that. That's what I said. You can find hints to support both theories.
I do like movies that spark conversation, and I think this is definitely one of those.
Yeah.
So I like it for that.
Yeah, I think so
that
too.
It makes people think.
It makes people think, and there's so many different meanings it could have. You could look at it as a straightforward science fiction time travel movie.
Mm-hmm.
You could look at all the different layers that we've pointed out tonight. You could look at it under the lens of mental illness,
Coming of
age, outcasts,
Yeah.
80s excess. So many things that you can look at. But I do think it's an original movie. What about the poster? I posted the main poster, and that leads us to the poster tonight that we are going to be giving away.
Poster.
There is a scene in Donnie Darko where Sparkle Motion is performing to the song
Victorious.
Notorious.
Notorious. Oh, gosh. Why would I say victorious?
This was
That's
not.
a Disney.
This was not the original song.
Disney show, isn't it?
No, listen here, Lana. This is not the original song that director Richard Kelly had envisioned to be played during this scene. What other 1980s song was originally featured to be played during this scene? And for the Facebook audience, I will put the song up so they can hear it as well. Hold on, they can hear it. Just a moment.
I don't know the answer to this.
So if anyone does know the answer,
Is this the trivia question?
it's
That
the
is
trivia
the
question.
trivia
Yes.
question
Yes.
for the poster.
This is the one.
This is for the poster. So this song, Notorious, was not the original song Richard Kelly wanted played during this scene. Name the original song, and you will win the Donnie Darko poster.
And try not to cheat. Don't
Try not to cheat. Did you look it up, Cindy?
cheat. No. I
Okay.
was going to see if anybody answered it.
I was going to see if how easy it was to find. Because I didn't look it up.
Find it could win. That's all that matters.
They could. I mean, they could. I just heard it come from
Is it
Richard
whoever
Kelly's.
answers it
So,
first?
Yes.
so I'm interested since we're gonna close out talking about it, and like I would love to talk about this movie like so much more. I didn't even get through half of my notes, and that was only on 2 sections: themes and soundtrack. What would you rate this movie out of 10?
I mean, I'd honestly give
David?
it a 6. Being honestly myself.
Okay.
It's just hard to like it's you're just analyzing it a lot. You know, if your first time watching the movie, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard for anybody to watch that's not like used to something to that degree.
Right.
Like we said, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, and it's just they've got a good cast, but it's also a time whenever they're a lot of that cast is actually pretty young,
Right.
and their range just wasn't where it could have been.
Okay. Cindy, what about you?
I would say watch the theatrical version first.
Okay.
If it's your first time viewing it, go with theatrical.
Okay.
Because to me, the director's was a little long.
Okay. What would you
In
give
some parts.
the one that you saw?
I would still give it like an 8 out of 10 at least.
Okay.
I still really enjoyed it.
Lana, what about yourself?
It's one of my favorite movies. Just because like I said, if you can't figure it out and it's taken this many times and I still don't know, like it's rewatchable. So I'm going to give it a solid 8.8.
8.8. And I will give it an 8.5. So I'm glad we did Donnie Darko. We had a good discussion. Please, everyone, go to the social media pages, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, The Other People Show. leave your answers below. Has anyone guessed the correct answer yet?
Nobody
Lana?
said anything yet.
No?
No.
No? Okay. Well, we will be back for the Other People Show. You all sticking around?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Honestly.